Hello, hello, hello. It is Tori from Avalon Enchanted. Let's see. Um, been a hell of a week. So I wanted to actually just do the reading itself and put it up to YouTube and then share the recording link on Facebook because there's just been so much going on today. Things have just been going, there's just been a lot. Gonna leave it at that. There's just been a lot. So with that being said, I am doing the 1, 2, 3 reading. If you're new to this, please do hashtag replay to let us know how far the video goes. Also, please make sure on YouTube that you hit the bell so you're able to like and follow, and don't forget to share the video because that helps us, and by commenting that helps the algorithm to also help us as well, sharing it with more people and getting more hits. So please remember to do that. What we do with Avalon Enchanted is we come to you weekly, usually on Thursdays, and we do a reading. You basically select number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever. Sometimes it's a card, sometimes it's a crystal, sometimes it's a shell. Tonight's it's just a number, okay? And I do a reading for number 1, I do a reading for number 2, I do a reading for number 3. Whatever number you picked, that is your reading for the week, okay? So there's a lot to talk about. I'm also going to share some new things. Last week I was in Mexico and I'm back. Here I am. I'm back. So we'll just go ahead and jump into number 1, okay? Number 1. We got the Death card. We got the Lovers. We got the 8 of Pentacles behind us, and underneath us we have the 9 of Wands beneath us. Above us we have the 10 of Pentacles. In front of us we have the 5 of Pentacles, followed by the Knight of Swords. In the family house we got the Page of Swords. That's just Charlie. In the emotional house we have the World card. And then as far as outcomes are concerned, we have Justice. We have the 2 of Swords, and we have the Sun. So let's talk a little bit about this because there's a lot of change going on. And I feel like there's just a lot of change going on in the atmosphere anyhow. Things are happening so rapidly that we're kind of being forced to kind of process on the fly, I guess is the best way to describe it. So what I'm going to say, especially going on right now, is that with all of the change that's going on energetically and the energy coming into the planet, with all the change that's going on with just stuff going on, I think you know what I mean, so I don't want to get dinged for this, so I'm going to leave it at that. We do need to have the ability to be flexible, okay? And there are going to be things that we know that we need to let go of in order to be able to bring in new things, okay? So right off the bat, what I'm seeing here is with the Death card and the Lovers, to me, if there's some sort of relationship issues going on, there are going to be some dings in the road. It could very well be that you may have been working on it. You've been trying to kind of rewrite that ship, but right now, things are in drastic need of change. And it's one of those things where you either get on board and you make the change together, or you do the changes yourself, okay? That's really up to you, all right? There's the 10 of Pentacles ahead of above you, so there is a lot of goodness with that, but we do have some bumps in the road coming, which is what I wanted to talk about. Okay. With the Five of Pentacles, yes, that's a loss. With the Death card, yes, that means something comes to an end, but that also means something new begins. So, like I said, there's going to be some choppiness, there's going to be some up and down that you're going to need to really kind of work through and be fluid, going with the flow, not fighting it. Okay. There are going to be some things that you're going to probably be hit with that are going to be out of the blue. Now, question is, are you going to use your head and think things through, or are you going to charge right in? Okay. And act more along the lines of acting, being reactionary rather than being proactive. Okay. I feel like if you're being reactive, then there might be some issues. Okay. Um, Family, you may find that there's some things that maybe um need to kind of be talked through. We got the Page of Swords, which is usually with the Page of Swords, I mean that guy is usually there kind of like defending and it's just kind of know it all, you know. Swords are very intellectual. They're brilliant. So to me, this is going to be something in terms of standing up for your beliefs, maybe with your family or your family, depending upon whichever you are called to spend more time with. Um, Sorry. In the emotional house, we got the World card, which is a whole new cycle. So there really is a call to action to potentially let go of one thing in order to allow new stuff to come in. But you have to be fully ready to commit to let go of what needs to be let go of. You can't kind of go, oh, okay, I'm gonna let go. No, I changed my mind. You know, it's one of those things where you have to kind of be like, okay, and commit to it. All right. So just so you know, if I pull another card, we have the Three of Pentacles. So you do have support, is what that's telling me. You know, you don't have to do it alone. Um, whether it be friends or family that you're able to get the support that you need from, that's important. Okay. There are going to be some things that maybe are out of reach. There are going to be some things that you want to bring in that might not necessarily be able to come in at this time. Or they're not right for what you need to do. Okay? So kind of keep that in the back of your mind. As far as outcome stuff is concerned, we do have justice, legal stuff. Okay. We have the Sword about cutting cords, and the need to stay in balance. So those are some things that you definitely want to kind of keep in the back of your mind on in order to allow things to progress the way that they are supposed to progress. We do have the Two of Swords, which is which way do I go? So once you kind of lighten the load of what it is that you know you need to kind of make changes to, then you know that you're going to have an easier path. It's kind of like if there are obstacles, then are you going to try and kind of hit your head and try and run through those obstacles, or are you going to try and go around them? It's your choice. Okay. As far as an outcome card, though, is we have the Sun, which is a great card to get. It usually means that things work out the way they're supposed to. So, unfortunately, with all of this craziness and with all of the changing energy, things are not easy. You know, we have to kind of go with the flow and not jump to conclusions and not barge in and try and force a square peg into a round hole is kind of how I'm going to phrase that. Okay. So those are things that I think are really important if you chose number one for the first reading. All right. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be about what choices you make. It's going to be about really being good in terms of letting stuff go that's not working for you. That is not in your highest and best. It may be a relationship. It may be a job. It may be something else going on. Okay. Um, it may be a move of some kind. But those are some things that you definitely need to kind of at least have in your mind and prepare for, especially for the upcoming weeks. Okay. So that's kind of where I am with that. There may be things that you want to happen, but the universe has its own unique way of doing it. It's your own unique way, and we have to go with the flow. With the Four of Cups, this guy is he's kind of sitting there pouting because there's something that he wants, but he can't get to it. So he's ignoring the Three Cups on the ground because he's too busy pouting about what he wants that's out of reach. And it's not in your highest and best to be focusing on what's not in reach. Okay. It could very well be it's the timing. Like I said, it could be that it's just not the right time, or it could not be the right place, or it could not be the right person. All right. So keep that in mind. I think the biggest things is really relying on yourself, not charging into things, thinking things through, and being in balance. Okay. So that's reading number 1. While I pick up the cards, I want to mention a couple things. First of all, we have some things coming up for the month of April. So April is going to be a little bit of a kind of a crazy month. We have 2 events coming up in April, but they are both on Zoom. Okay. The first one is working with crystal grids. So it is going to be about learning what crystal grids are and how to use them. Because you can really use crystal grids for just about anything, for manifesting stuff to come in that you want, for getting rid of energy that you don't want, for love, health, security, protection. And the neat part about working with crystal grids is it doesn't always have to be all crystals. You can use plants. You can use seashells. So there's a lot of variety. There's no wrong way of doing your own crystal grid. And I want to kind of reiterate that because sometimes people think, oh my God, I got to do it exactly the way it's shown. No. So that's going to be a great class. It's actually on Wednesday, April 9th from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom, and it's $33. So we're going to have some really awesome discussions about crystal gridding, cool crystals to use, what to use for crystal gridding, and what you want to do with it. We're also going to talk about the base, how to actually kind of go about focusing on sacred geometry. Also, we're going to do a meditation where we're going to do a guided meditation where we go into the grid. Okay, so it's almost like going into the matrix. But in the same token, it's a little bit different. So the link for that, if you're interested, hit me up, because I don't think the link is quite up yet. I can certainly send you details on it. But I'm hoping that we'll get that up in the next day or so. So then the other event that we have, again, it's also just on Zoom, is the Mystical Graces of Mary Magdalene, the sacred ceremony with the desert rose. And I am really excited about that because she has been coming in hard and heavy. And this is a sacred ceremony online, so you get to do it in your PJs, in the comfort of your own home. It works just as well. So that's actually going to be Saturday, April 26th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and that is $44. So if you've ever worked with Ascended Master Energy, she is an amazing energy to work with. And with the fact that the Divine Feminine is playing such a major role right now, this is something that is definitely coming into the planet that is needed to help kind of balance things out. Okay. So that's kind of where we are with that. Now, I'm actually going to be in the studio Saturday, March 29th, and for a little bit on Sunday, March 30th. And we're actually having a spring cleaning sale for our in-stock merchandise. Everything is up to 50% off. So we're actually going to be having 50% off of the oils and the hand-poured candles. And we're going to be having 25% off of the wire wrapped crowns, which are all Reiki infused. And we're also going to have 30% off of the crystals. So if there's something that you're looking for, let me know. We have lots of tumbles. We have a lot of kind of unique specimen pieces as well that are in there. And the crystals in stock are 30% off. So that is going to be for this Saturday and this Sunday. We may do some more spring cleaning coming up as we get a little bit further into April, but this gives you the opportunity to get a better selection and to really score a lot of cool stuff, because I have Mary Magdalene candles, I have Michael the Archangel candles, I have abundance candles. So there's a lot. And those are all things that you can use to kind of help spur your manifesting. And crystals, I have a lot of tumbles, I have a lot of rough, a lot of small pieces as well. So those are great for crystal gritting, you know? So those are some things to think about. So we're going to do reading number 2. So we got the King of Pentacles and we got the Queen of Pentacles. That's interesting. We got the 9 of Wands behind us. We have the 9 of Pentacles beneath us. We have the Queen of Cups. In front of us, we have the 10 of Swords. Beneath that, we have the Page of Wands. In the family house, we have the 8 of Swords. In the emotional house, we have the 3 of Pentacles. And then as far as outcomes are concerned, we have the Lovers, the 3 of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. What does that mean? Okay, so to me, this is screaming relationship, because we have 2 very powerful people that may be on the same wavelength when it comes to achieving goals. What I will say is that there's a lot of confidence, especially with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. But King and Queen energy is important because they complement each other. It's not like one's higher than the other, but they complement each other. So that's important to know. The Queen of Cups does come in as a way of saying, hey, there are going to be some things emotionally coming in that you're going to definitely need to address. Okay, so keep that in mind. With the 10 of Swords, there may be some things that change, whether it be in the relationship or whether it be some situations going on this week. So those are some things you're going to need to think about that are coming in with this week, energetically speaking. Oh, 4 of Cups again. All right, 4 of Cups. So be open to knowing what you have. So you may find that something comes to an end. Don't overthink that. Accept it. Work with what you have, because there's a pivot coming, and that pivot is actually going to be something that's going to be helpful. Don't get caught up in what you're not able to achieve or reach. Okay. We got the 7 of Swords. I call this the sneaky bastard card. Okay. So, It could very well be self-sabotage. It could also be somebody within your orbit that just doesn't have the best intentions for you. Worse, throwing a monkey wrench into things, or you throwing a monkey wrench into things. So keep that in the back of your mind. It almost has to do with, you may find that the universe, the source energy kind of has their fine hand in it. Sometimes we know some things need to change and we can let it go and we just kind of deal with it. And then all of a sudden something happens and the universe is basically saying, well, I told you you needed to do something about this and you didn't listen, so I did it for you. So keep that in the back of your mind. We have the Page of Wands, which to me is, okay, let's creatively think of a way of moving forward. Let's look at the new growth. Let's kind of pull ourselves together and figure out what our next steps are. This guy is getting ready for an adventure. He's not the fool who's starting one, but he's just starting to kind of think about, he's focusing, as you can see, he's focusing on the leaves that are there on the wands. And like I said, wands are fiery, wands are creative. So there's different ways of kind of working through this situation. So you're going to have to use your creativity in order to make that happen. Okay. Family. We got the Eight of Swords. So you're not going to please everybody. Okay. You're not going to please everybody. And to me, this is almost like you're doing this to yourself. Okay. So if you know going into the situation that you're not going to please everybody, you're going to take pressure off of yourself and you are going to allow yourself to kind of let things go and allow yourself to kind of have things process organically. Okay. Emotionally, we have the Three of Cups. So what I'm going to say with, Three of Pentacles. What I'm going to say with this is usually a collaboration. So there may be some support that you get with everything that's been going on, whether it be financial support, whether it be emotional support, whether it be just someone that you can vent to, okay? Don't feel like you're doing this alone, and don't feel like if you are struggling, don't be afraid to ask for help. Also, don't be afraid to accept help. Okay. Sometimes when we feel ourselves saying, oh no, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Do we really have to do it all by ourselves? Or is it okay to have help? It is. So we got the King of Cups. So to me, the King of Cups is someone that's understanding, goes with the flow, is there to help. There is emotion running through it. So they are concerned in order to kind of help you work through what it is that you're working through. All right. Outcome stuff. Let's take a look at this. We got the Lovers, okay? Relationships. Let's pull another one. Queen of Swords. To me, there's some baggage there. So the best way to describe the Queen of Swords, she's somebody that does have baggage, can be a little bit in people's business, can be a little bit passive aggressive, can get triggered. So this might be you. This might be your partner. But my point is, swords are also very intellectual. So give it the opportunity to work through it. And here is the Six of Swords, going out of the choppy water into the clear sailing. Okay. So you will work through it. You're just going to have to believe. And it's interesting because we have the Three of Swords. Again, there are going to be some things that are up and down. But throughout all of this, you're going to have, you're going to find yourself in a place that's in a much better place. And new opportunities are going to fall in. It's kind of like once you kind of work through some of this stuff, things clear out, and that allows for the new stuff to drop in and be able to take root and grow. If I pull another card, oh, Temperance. So Temperance is interesting. Temperance is all about patience and balance. Okay. So we do have to be patient for what it is that is going to come in. It may take a little bit longer than just this week, so just be prepared for that. You may find that you're also going to have to be patient with people, be patient with things happening. Maybe they're not happening fast enough for you, or maybe they're happening too fast. And you lose patience, or you feel frustrated, or you don't feel grounded. This is important to really focus on being grounded. To me, this is more of a warning rather than something that's going to happen. But the Five of Pentacles is a loss card, okay? So this is why it's so important to really be grounded and to do things right and to be anchored and to be patient. If we don't and we rush into things, then we're going to find ourselves missing things and missing out on opportunities. So that's why I feel that that is so important, okay? One last card, we got the Emperor. So there's stability there. You know, there's plans coming in, but be patient with them, okay? All right, so that is number 2. What else do I want to talk about? I talked about the events that are coming up for April, and I talked about the spring cleaning sale. Like I said, everything is up to 50% off in stock, 50% off of the oils, 50% off of the hand-poured candles. Also 25% off the wire-wrapped crowns with crystals. And then we have the crystals, the tumbles, the, excuse me, raw, the polished, etc. 30% off. So we want to make sure that we're able to kind of move those forward and get some great things in the process. So I also want to talk a little bit about the fact that we have openings for a couple of different things. Okay. Yeah, for the month of April, we're kind of paring back on events and things like that because there's just a lot going on right now. But I wanted to mention the fact that even though there's a lot going on, we still have the ability to plan table tipping parties. We still have the ability to plan tarot parties. One of the things that I like to do is do table tipping and tarot parties in people's homes. So going to you, we're able to do that. So if you're interested in information on that, hit me up. You can also go to the website, which is avalonenchanted.com, and you look under, I believe it is services. And with table tipping, that's all listed there for the parties as well as the tarot parties. So that's all in there. We also have the ability for making appointments, for energy healing appointments. We can do those either in person or remote, okay? Either is fine. So Cindy actually does quantum healing, which is really, really beneficial. She also does violet flame healing, which is connected with Saint Germain, who is the keeper of the violet flame and transmutation, the whole idea of alchemy and turning energy from one source into something else. So with using alchemy, we are able to transmute or change energy from one thing into something else. And that is really important. I'm available for the Sekhem Reiki, which is the Sekhmet Reiki. As you can see, I do a lot with Egyptian energy. And there in the studio, we actually have an Egyptian healing temple that's there. So it's very powerful being there. We also have, what else? We also have crystal healing. We also have angel healing. We also have regular Usui Reiki, which is very effective. And also IET, which is an angelic version of energy healing. One of the other things which I didn't mention there is also past life regression. You know, I can do that online or I can do that in person. So if there's something that you're interested in finding out about your past lives, why maybe there's certain things, you do certain things or have certain, I don't want to say phobias, but how do I say this? Do certain things and have certain things that understand why, unlock the reason as to why those things happen, why maybe you feel that way, why maybe you are cautious about certain things because something could have happened in a past life. So what we try and do is we try and um, allow ourselves to work through that with the hypnosis session and allow ourselves to break those chains and to free ourselves from things that are hampering us in our current life. All right. So I'm going to shuffle one more time. If you're interested in a past life regression, definitely message me and we'll set something up either online or in person. All right. So reading number 3. I'll explain what's coming in just a second. So the entire deck is upside down. So we treat it right side up, first of all. So usually when we read, if there's a card that is upside down, like maybe one card or a couple of cards, then we keep them the way they are. But if the entire spread is upside down, then the deck's upside down. Okay. And that's important to know. Because usually when we have a reverse card, it means the opposite of things. So that's why it's important to mention that. All right, so we got the Page of Swords covered by the Death card. Death card, like I said, is about something coming to an end. So you may feel like you've been kind of in a stance. Maybe you've been protecting yourself. Maybe you've been waiting for something to come in and have been kind of guarded about it. Now is the time that you may find that what you've been waiting for is finally ending. It could be something that you've been protecting. It could be something that you have been waiting to come in. But the Death card is more like a timing in terms of something ending, meaning something new beginning. Okay, so keep that in mind. Beneath us is the Eight of Wands. Behind us is the Page of Cups. Above us is the Empress, and she has a lot in abundance. We call her the mommy card. She's very competent and capable and in a good place. So she basically is there to kind of say, all is going to be okay. There's also the Empress card is about abundance and stuff growing, new things coming in. So I feel like this is almost like the new beginning of something. All right. And it's confirmed by the Ace of Pentacles, which is a great card. This is something coming in? Absolutely. Look at my path. Okay. Here's the other interesting card, the Knight of Pentacles. Many times for me, this is a moving card. So you may find that literally you're moving from one thing to another, one place to another. You may find that because of the abundance coming in and you've let go of what you've needed to let go, that is allowing you to move forward and to give you the forward growth that you need. Family, the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about abundance in reserve, confidence, and things like that. So you have support. You have the ability to really make sure that you are in a good place and people have your back. Okay. Emotional, we got the Five of Cups. And to me, this is don't spend that much time focusing on what happened and how it happened in the past. We got to make sure that we're focusing on the present and the future, more so the present. So this guy is focusing on the 3 cups that are tipped over and he's crying about it. And then we have the 2 cups behind him that he's ignoring. Okay. So don't allow yourself to get into such a worked up state that whatever it was that ended, you're not focusing all of your energy and attention on that. You're focusing on what is going on and what is coming in. Okay. Change is hard. Change is hard, man. I mean, there's a lot that I have been going through, that I am going through right now that deals with a lot of change. And change can be a good thing. We don't always necessarily have to look at change being something bad. Um, Sometimes change is a way of pivoting and going in a different direction, because what we were doing maybe wasn't working for us, or what we were doing we outgrew, or um, it could very well be somebody that that we were connected to, we needed to move on, whether it be you've been doing your work but they haven't been doing theirs, or things like that. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as outcome is concerned, we have the devil card, which is, so the devil card is interesting. It's about being stuck in a rut. It's about addiction. It's about um lack of belief, lack of confidence in some cases. So to me, this is a warning about, if you still continue to focus on what went down and not focusing on what you have, you're basically putting yourself into this eternal loop, um, where you're stuck and you can't get out of it. You're spinning your wheels. Okay. So you don't want this. So we need to focus on what we have and prepare for what's coming in. Okay. That's the best way to describe it. Now, with this, like I said, sometimes it can be um, self-sabotage. It could be food addiction. It could be other types of things like that. But to me, this is, you got to break the chains. See, we got to break the chains. And that's the part. So to me, that's more of a warning. If you don't turn your head and you don't focus on what's behind you, that's perfectly good and is there and that you need to pay attention to. The Nine of Swords. Change doesn't come easy, but we know that we need to make it. Again, this can also be a self-sabotage. This could also be focusing on the part that went down that we need to move on from. Okay, so that's something to think about. We do have the Seven of Wands, so you definitely do have to stand strong and be on your toes. What I'm going to say is to allow yourself to navigate around that being stuck in a rut. You're really going to have to kind of do some things to really stay grounded and anchored and protected and firmly planted, so you're able to get the messages that you need to get, so you're able to be productive and to work through this energy and to allow yourself to focus on what's going on. Okay, here's the cool part. As an outcome, we got the Fool. New beginnings, new opportunities, new things coming in, new adventures, new everything. Now, we could either be kind of our heads in the clouds if we're not careful and we're not looking at what's in front of us, or it could be we're taking a leap of faith. What is it going to be? And I think that's something that only you can answer. Is it a leap of faith? Do you have your head in the clouds? If I pull one more card, strength. Strength. You have the ability to do this. Don't second guess yourself. Dig deep. Be strong. Strength is something that takes time. I mean, we work our muscles in order to be strong. You know, we have to kind of work our emotional and mental muscles in order to be strong, you know, emotionally and spiritually. So keep that in the back of your mind. There's good stuff coming in. You just got to stay, you just got to hang on and allow yourself to get through that and circumvent that in order to get around that so you can get to the good stuff. Okay? That's something that's important. So that is the reading for 1, 2, and 3 for the week of March 27th through Wednesday, April 2nd. Again, I'm putting this video up to YouTube directly because there's just been so much going on. I'll talk a little bit about that right now. I know I've mentioned it a little bit on some previous videos, especially the one that I did when I was in Mexico. For those of you that might know, I actually work for a children's aid organization during the day. And there's been a lot going on, not being political, but as you can imagine, since we focus on girls and we focus on children and children's rights around the world, you can imagine how this particular climate has caused things to go awry. With that being said, we actually have been working on totally retooling and changing some things. There's been a lot of changes that have happened, that are happening, that are going to happen in order to allow us to be able to be leaner and meaner and be able to focus on more of what our mission is without potentially utilizing things that we were able to get with extra funding through organizations like USAID. Okay. We did a lot of projects. We did a lot of good in a lot of different countries around the world to be able to help girls, to be able to help children, to be able to help families get clean water, be able to go to school, focusing on hunger, safety and security, stuff like that. However, there's individuals that feel that that's not important. And as such, their stance has caused us to lose a major funding source. Okay, I think you know what I'm talking about. So we have a lot going on with that. We have a lot going on, just overall being nice and genuine and treating people civilly on top of that. So the last, I'm going to say, since January, for me, things have been very, very difficult. I haven't necessarily spoken about them all, but I know that I may have spoken about them in little bits and pieces. But right now, there's a lot on the line, and the job, there's a lot of people that are not gonna be able to continue to work with this organization. That's what we're trying to figure out. So, that's been going on. What else? Oh, yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the travel business. So, for those of you that may have caught the Ascended Illuminations while I was in Mexico, so that would have been Thursday the 13th, I think it was. I mentioned how I've actually started a travel business, doing like travel consultant work, i.e. travel agency. So I'm able to actually book people's family vacations, cruises, business, weekend getaways, girls trips, car rentals, excursions, travel insurance, you name it. I am available to do that. And I'm actually really excited about that because one of the things that we want to do is, since I really enjoy traveling, and I especially enjoy traveling to different sacred sites, energetic places, things like that, I want to be able to share that passion with people and allow people the opportunity to experience those energetic connections, you know? So I feel that is something that's really, really passionate to me. So if you enjoy travel and you're looking for something different, let me know. If you're looking to book a business trip, if you're looking to book a family trip, a cruise, let me know. I can book for all different budgets, and I can book for all sorts of different experiences depending upon what you're up for. So keep that in mind as you are trying to figure out maybe your summer plans, your April vacation, etc. So you can direct message me, or you can email me at Tori, that's Tori, at AvalonEnchanted.com. Okay. You can reach me that way. So don't forget about the crystal grading class on Wednesday, April 9th, $33 online. And then the Mystical Graces of Mary Magdalene Sacred Ceremony with the Desert Rose, on Saturday, April 26th, 6:30 to 8:30 on Zoom, $44. Again, if you're looking for services, hit me up. I am happy to help you with that, whether it be in person or remote. Readings, etc. And then finally, if you're going to be around Wickford this weekend, please stop by and check us out. I will be there on Saturday, and I will be there for part of the day on Sunday. Again, we're going to be doing a spring cleaning sale, 30% off crystals, 25% off the wire wrap crowns, 50% off the oils, like the Moldavite oil, the Merlin oil, the Awen oil, the Illumination oil, and then also 50% off the hand poured candles. So I think I have Mary Magdalene, and I also have Michael the Archangel. I have Abundance. I have one Sekhmet candle left. There's a couple of others. So those are 50% off. And those, what I like to do, I always work with the different corresponding herbs and plants that are connected to, if it's, for example, Mary Magdalene, I'm using certain herbs and things like that that tie to her. Same thing like with Michael the Archangel or Sekhmet, okay? If it's something where you're trying to bring in abundance, I'm using things that would help bring in the abundance for you, okay? So there are different herbs, there's different crystals, there's different oils that are actually from Egypt that are in there. And with some of them, like the Mary Magdalene, like the Sekhmet, like the Michael the Archangel, I'm actually using sand from places like Jordan, when I went to Petra, Egypt, from some of the different locations there. Also, Sedona. So some of the vortexes with that, or the vortices with that. So now's a chance to pick them up at 50% off. If that's something that you've had your eye on, it's definitely worth it. So the address is 24 Brown Street. We are located on the back side of the building at 24 Brown Street. You actually enter our unit on Spink Street, Spink. We're located diagonally across the street from Yes Gallery. If you have questions or you're interested in anything, or if there's something specific crystal wise that you're wanting to see if I have, hit me up, direct message me, email me, whatever you want to do, just reach out. So talk to you later. I'm going to show you one last thing before we actually depart. And I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Documents? No. Yes, no. They changed this on me. What the? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Hold on. Public view. No. 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 Present. That's what I wanted. Okay. So again, this is the calendar for April. So you can see the events. You can see the details with what we're doing and what we're offering. More information on the travel. More is coming too on the travel. There's some things that I'm in the process of working on as well. So I hope that this is something that people would enjoy doing, some of these things. And if there's any questions, let me know. In the meantime, I just need to hit escape. There. So in the meantime, have a great evening or a great day, whatever you're watching this. And remember to do #replay so I know how far it goes. Again, please share it with your friends, family, etc. Share the travel stuff with your friends, family, etc. And let them know that I'm available to assist them with that. Again, readings, happy to help. Take care. Bye.